Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha's here. Butler's here. Shout out to Top Shelf Aquatics, who are our aquatic partners who keep our fish tank looking. I was going to say the T word for breasts, but I'm not going to say it. And it looks great. And thank you guys. If you've never checked out our live feed, which you can also see our fish tank on, just go to Twitch, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live, and all replays on YouTube, Tom and Dan Live.
Chris Crespo is here from Cinema Crespodiso podcast, president of PFT Media. Is that correct?
Co-president.
Co-president.
Yes.
Vice president, depending on how much responsibility I want to take on the day.
Luxurious hairman.
Yeah. Man, your hair is amazing.
It's amazing.
Hey, I appreciate it.
like the shirt, the shorts, the flip-flops, the hair, the glasses. He's got a look.
I'm going for the vibe I've been going for this year has been CIA agent embedded in Central America country for too long.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm getting a Far Cry Save the Caribbean Nation vibe going on.
Sort of like that, yeah.
You've embedded yourself into the maybe you're a babysitter of the Emperor's son. Right?
Yeah.
And you're a confidant and a companion, a video game Twitchman, if you will, with the Emperor's son. But the Emperor's a nasty guy, and you also are going to kill the Emperor, right?
That's the plan.
But the dichotomy, the weird thing here is that you have a relationship, you have friendship, a deep-rooted friendship, almost a father figure to this son because his dad is so terrible. But the son doesn't realize that you have to kill his father. This is crazy in your brain.
That sounds like a 007 plot.
It might be. I don't know.
Which works for me.
I've been watching things. I've been playing a lot of video games. I'm fresh.
So now you're plot popping over here.
Yeah, I am plot popping.
That's awesome.
What about Costa Rican alcoholic detective?
Yes.
Or just Costa Rican alcoholic. Because we got a lot of expats that go over there, right, and they just live out their days.
And the detective part sounds like work, honestly.
And that's happening right now. Like, we have a lot of friends.
What crimes are really happening?
Come on, chill over there.
You know what I admire? This is completely unrelated to anything, but you know what I admire and I think is cool, and I follow him on Instagram, is Buckethead, who used to be here on Real Radio. He's in Atlanta now, killing it. He does another show, and he goes by his real name, Jason. Well, his producer, Nate, he and his wife like visiting Mexico so much that, like, I think a month ago they were like, we're moving to Mexico, and his job's remote, her job's remote, and he's like, we're moving. So they pack everything, dogs included, and they just rent an Airbnb or whatever, and they're living in Mexico. And every time you see him, he's like, Saturday night we wanted Greek food, found Greek food in Mexico, and then they're just living in Mexico. I think it's cool.
That sounds like a better life.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you, it makes logical sense to me that if you can work remotely, then you will eventually be like, well, why am I here?
Right.
Like, you know, I'm like,
right.
I want to go
work anywhere in the world.
Or you could just sell everything and just live in Airbnbs for a couple months at a time and in the best,
awesome.
coolest places in the world because you're working on the internet. All you need is internet connection, right?
Cruise ships have Wi-Fi. I'll cruise around the world and work my crappy office job.
Less likely to get
Tony
burned
does
out.
right now.
Yeah, Tony does.
He's on a
right
cruise
now.
right now.
He really is.
Yeah.
Although I will say that if he is on a cruise, I don't want him to be so relaxed that he half-assed reads our emails. I would prefer that he be
Too late.
If you're going to read emails,
how much work do you actually want to do?
You need to squeeze a little Captain Morgan in your eyes before you read the
It's hard
emails.
to concentrate on the email where you're on the Lido deck looking out over the horizon and you got a pina colada.
I would hate that. I'd have to go back to my stateroom and then try to upload the show, and I never could do it because our shows are like so fat. The files
too
are so
big
fat.
and the internet's too slow.
So then finally I'd just be drunk in my stateroom. I was like, I'm not doing it.
I'll do it when I get back.
Yeah.
Or like rent an RV or something and just work out of that and travel around.
Sounds
or whatever.
cool, right?
Like, yeah, I mean,
Sounds exciting.
There's a whole TikTok van life thing about
And it
it.
could
That's
be
what
healthy.
people do.
You know, you're not going to burn out as much because you're seeing new stuff all the time. Maybe you get a little distance. You're not crammed. You don't have that weird, almost toxic cubicle life.
Yeah.
You know, there could be a lot of good things
Less
about it.
goss to worry about.
well, it's like every time someone said, "Oh man," they go on vacation to a cool place. They're like, "I wish I lived here, but I work wherever in Minneapolis." And you're just like, "Well, I can live here now
Yeah.
if you work on the internet." I mean, and so many people now can.
And I know nothing about Minneapolis.
Twin Cities. That's all.
I
I
mean,
know.
it seems like a fine city. It's just like, you know, I'm
But I
guessing
know
that
anything
like
about it.
Costa Rica is cooler. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Whatever,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
But I will say that
Key
I
West
fell
or,
into the
you know.
trap. When you said, the minute you said Minneapolis, in my brain I go, oh yeah, get the F Minneapolis.
Get those
But
guys.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
I hate that.
every place probably has like a really cool time. Like Minneapolis may have awesome springs. Like spring in Minneapolis is awesome because of this festival
Yeah.
and this time, you know, like whatever it is. or
They
fall.
do the cheese wheel festival.
I was going to say
stuff.
cheese
Yeah.
curds. Yeah, I was going cheese.
You
Yeah.
just travel around and live in the coolest places at the coolest times, and that's it.
Yeah.
And you could live the best life and experience the coolest locations now
I wanna
more than
live-
any time in the world, right?
I want to live near a man sort of like Clint Eastwood so I can witness him befriend a child of another race and then give him a car. That's what I want to see.
That's Los Angeles then.
Hasn't he done 2 of those movies now?
Just one. The other one, he befriends a boy and gives him a ride home.
Okay,
So
so
it's
it's like,
similar.
so
It's
it's like a
similar.
lighter version.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
the-
yeah.
In the other
It-
one,
it is a lighter
In the other
version,
one, I
actually,
give
yeah.
the kid the car
Yeah.
after calling him horrible
Oh, yeah, slurs. Yeah,
slurs.
Yeah.
But in this one, I just give him a ride because you don't deserve the car.
Or the slurs.
And the
He even keeps the slurs.
Oh, he keeps the slurs.
Yeah, no. It's a nicer old man.
Let's talk about that.
Are
Clint
slurs
Eastwood.
worth a car? I feel like if you, I feel like they are.
Yeah.
It
Most
was a nice
people-
car. It was a
Yeah,
really
I
nice
feel like
car.
if I called you the N-word 25 times and then I gave you
Whatever
a
you
custom
want. You can call me whatever. You can
57 Chevrolet.
slap my face. Give me that.
Yeah, slap my flanks and give me a Camaro. I'll do it.
Let's talk about entertainment and what we're watching. Sorry to be all over the place today.
My buddy told me that Clint Eastwood movie was the worst piece of garbage he's ever seen. He said, and he told me, he's like, get high as hell and watch it, and you'll be astounded by how bad it is and start laughing at it.
It's amazing just how old he is. The way
Yeah.
he's a skeleton with skin walking around. Oh, here we go now. Now we're sexy old man. He has a relationship with a woman that's 20 years younger than him.
And he
in
has
the movie.
sex in the movie, right?
I maybe implied.
Yeah.
He does throw a punch, which is pretty funny at one point. And the guy is like, oh, he sells it like he got hit by Mike Tyson. It's hysterical.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
So he did tell me that it was awkward, and it seemed like someone just funded it.
Well, he
or-
did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, he
well,
self-funded?
Well, actually, Warner Brothers probably paid for it. He's had a long relationship with
Relationship,
him.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
and it looks like a cheap movie, 10, 15 million maybe.
Yeah.
That-
What do you
that's-
need? We could get you
Yeah.
some kids of other ethnicities.
They're
for you
running it
to
off
yell
as like
at.
a charitable. Like, yeah, we'll put it on HBO Max.
It seemed like it's Clint Eastwood. We'll give him
Yeah.
$8 million
Yeah.
to
Got
make
an
a movie.
idea
and
for
that's it.
another movie.
No.
like,
Where
oh,
again-
Clint's back.
with another ethnic kid.
Oh boy, here we are. All right, Clint.
And there's
We'll give you $5
I
million.
need 5 brown kids and some custom cars.
We'll give you 1 brown kid and 2 cars.
Oh, okay. Where am I?
but also, I mean, probably smart business move because there's a huge demographic, like my uncles that are like
Oh,
60
my dad.
and
Yeah.
70.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood for life.
they'll watch it because they love Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, my parents watched it. Yeah, because it's a Clint Eastwood movie. Otherwise, they wouldn't have checked it out.
They said it was horrible, right?
My mom did not like it at all.
Okay,
Yeah, my
yeah.
dad was like, and my dad's a little more forgiving. He's like, it's a movie. It had a beginning, middle, and end. It's fine. But my
Yeah.
mom was like, it was stupid. He was so old. She hated how old he
Wait,
was.
hold on. Your mom's quote was, "It was stupid. He was so old."
Pretty much. That's
Can
almost
I
a
hug
verbatim
her?
quote.
My God,
Yeah.
that's the best review. Can she do reviews on our show?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll give
That's
you your
a
phone
great
number.
review.
They should force him to retire, right?
But the thing is, if he retires,
No.
he's probably dead 6 months
Yeah.
later, right? It's the
Yeah.
one thing keeping
He's
him
had a
going.
good run.
You can't let
been a
he's a
heck of a
national
run.
treasure, and he's done a lot of good stuff.
And he was playing old men in movies in the
Can we
70s.
like
Yes.
fake him out and pretend like we're filming movies with him in it and
Sure.
then not release them?
We
That's
all
actually possible,
age.
yeah.
We're all going to be there
Truman
at some
Show him.
point.
Yeah,
That-
yeah.
that everybody knows that he should have packed it in after he talked to that chair that one time.
Yeah.
On stage.
Oh,
And
yeah.
look,
That was it.
I'm
That
not
was
making it
like-
political. I'm just saying whenever you talk to
Right.
a chair.
That was
was an issue.
15 years ago.
Yeah.
That was pre-Gran Torino, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he did the video where he's in the tub with the chair and he's like Bridges of Chair County. I think no, but
that was
when
the
he-
romantic version.
when he did that, I think everybody was like, "What the hell are you doing, old man?" Like, and then everybody should have like collectively said, "Maybe we didn't shower him
That
with
was
an-
in 2012. That was almost 10 years
I
ago.
don't
Wow,
think
that's
we
crazy.
showered him with enough love. And I have a theory about this. You need to, as the public, shower him with enough awards and national achievement. You know, like you are like, you get the Michael Jackson Video Vanguard. You get all of them. You
he's
get,
like, what? I don't want that.
you get him
You
give
don't
him
want that.
every award. That way you're signaling him, right? It's a very classy way to signal old people. When you give them every award,
Here's
you're
your
letting them
Lifetime
know.
Achievement Award.
It's like you're flashing. It's
because
like,
your lifetime is done.
yeah, it's like Ross at the S Sandwich Comedy at Bullenbush. You hit the light.
Yeah.
You're letting them know
You give
we're
him the light.
done. We're done here.
We should have given him Eastwood the light, is what you're
So
saying.
here's your Michael Jackson Video Vanguard. You're the best. Here's your Kennedy Center honors.
Yeah.
We're done.
I think they
he
gave
got
him that in like the 90s.
Yeah, I think he got that early.
Since that chair thing, he may have made like 4 or 5 movies. He has not stopped working since then.
Yeah.
And maybe it is because no one told him to. Maybe someone just needs to tell him that he can stop.
Well, he just enjoys it. Vince Neil. Let's go into that.
Yeah.
Vince Neil over the weekend, who doesn't need the money and doesn't need to play Motley Crue songs, fell off the stage like a big fat potato.
Oh, boy.
And it's hilarious video. You don't need to do this anymore.
Are you sure he doesn't need the money?
Like Tom
Well,
and
he
I
might.
Tom and I don't go to Beepers and Phones,
It's
and
not
we
like
don't stand
Rolling
out there.
Stones are coming back out and touring, and you're like, you don't need to do that.
But
Yeah,
we don't do
exactly.
that. Like, there are certain things that if he asked me, he's like, hey, we got a new client. It's a cell phone store. I'd be great. That's awesome. Yeah, they want you to go there for 2 hours and stand there and try to sign up people for new AT&T plans. I'd respectfully say there's a time when I would have done that, and I'm not below or above that or below that.
I'm above it.
I'm not. I just like I don't
I'm
want
telling you
to.
the
I don't
truth.
There's a
want
price,
to.
though. You do it
I
for a
don't
price.
want
Oh, yeah.
to do it. I don't want to do it. I'm not going to do it.
I'd do it for $800.
An hour?
For the 2 hours.
You know what's
stand up
funny?
and-
Oh, okay.
I
400 an
too
hour.
would
Oh,
do it
okay.
for
Oh, that's
$800
reasonable.
bucks, but then I'd follow you to hell, so I don't know where we are.
Because that seems like I'll be like, all right, I'll drive out. Where is it?
I can
Cody,
stay there.
or
Hold on, Lakeland.
Lakeland.
Ooh.
That's
Lakeland.
fine. That's fine.
Oh.
Do they cover your gas, too?
No.
No,
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 actually, shout out to the only promotions department manager we ever had that got us paid and got us compensated for money is Angel's girlfriend, Bobby. She's the only person that ever...
Or for extra distance.
Yeah, she would get us
Gotcha.
paid. Shout out to her. She would get us paid. Like, if we had to go out of our normal area, she'd get us, like, paid time and a half plus the gas.
Nice.
Dope.
So, Chris, let's talk movies. What is the new movie everybody's excited about that since the last time we talked to you that has been released that is hitting like
Shape of
end of
Water.
the year that everybody wants to see?
Man, there's a handful. Like Bond came out a couple weeks
Yeah,
ago,
yeah.
and that's doing pretty well, especially overseas. In the UK, they've come out for it real hardcore because Bond plays in the UK like Avengers movies play here in America. And it's a good movie. It's really good. I really, really enjoyed it. It plays great on I'm glad that they held it and they didn't sell it to a streaming service. They were trying to sell it for $600 million, and the only people who were even barely interested was Amazon and I think Apple. But they balked because the most expensive movies are like $200 million being sold to streaming. 600 is crazy. That's a crazy amount of
Yeah.
money. But now Amazon owns, or they're in the process of buying MGM, which means they're going to own all of the
Jesus.
Bond movies anyway
Yeah.
now. So let's see what future the next Bond movie may be. Straight to
Where are we
Amazon
at
Prime.
with new Bond? Because I know that every time we have to decide.
Yes.
And I use
It's that time.
I use that loosely. We decide nothing, but the court of public opinion usually weighs in and usually says that it's time for like an update.
Yes.
It's time for maybe a brown Bond. It's time for
Yeah.
maybe we got a gay Bond.
Lady
Who knows?
Bond or
yeah,
something.
Lady Bond. Whatever. But
Well,
we know where we're going with new Bond.
This is for sure the last Daniel Craig movie.
Yes.
And it's for sure the end of that. And at the very end of the movie, at the end of all these Bond movies, usually at the end of the very end of the credits,
They
the last
give you a
thing is-
little. They give you a bite.
They say James Bond will return in The Living Daylights or whatever if they have the title set up for the next one. This one, it just says at the very end, James Bond will return. So they're letting you know we're going to be making more Bond movies. But the producer said they're not even going to really publicly start looking at people until next year. So it's like just let Daniel Craig do his final lap. Let's everyone enjoy No Time to Die, and then we'll worry about quote new Bond next year. But people have been mentioning Idris Elba for years now, and he has even said publicly like, I'm getting too old for it. I don't want to do it now. But
I've
I'm
always
sure if they
looked
offered
at
it
Bond
to him,
as
he'd be
being a
interested.
little older. Maybe I'm wrong on that.
I know.
But as
yeah.
a kid watching James Bond,
It felt like it was an
I
older
loved
dude.
James Bond as a
I
kid.
mean, Connery, well, he was older.
Connery
I mean,
played it when he was in his 50s.
I fell
Moore
in
played
love.
it into his 50s.
I fell in love with James Bond because of my mom.
Yeah.
Like my mom was definitely more of the spicier Dennis, and she liked the romantic. She liked the
Yeah,
fact that
the
James
saucy
Bond
Bond
was,
stuff, yeah.
he was a sex
He was
symbol.
horny, man.
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood, old
Oh,
Bond.
my.
They considered-
we call
That'd
him
be hysterical.
we call him Confederate War Bond. Old Confederate War Bond is out
Old
there.
man Bond.
They actually considered
Gosh.
Eastwood in the 70s.
Where's Where's my smoke screen? Oh God!
It'd be ridiculous
Oh,
now.
drop my oil slick.
When they considered him in the 70s, he was already like 45 then, and they were
That's
thinking
what I
about making him
thought.
Bond
Is
back
James
then.
Bond supposed to be late 30s? I always thought James Bond's supposed to be my age, but just fit.
I think he's always in his 40s to 50s.
Yeah,
is
he's
typically.
my age.
And then
Yeah,
when they did
distinguished.
Casino Royale,
Thank
he
you,
was like
Tom.
the youngest. There you go. He's the youngest Bond. He's like 38.
the only nice
maybe,
thing he's
Daniel
ever
Craig?
said about me, and he wasn't talking about me.
So in this Bond, do they have the quintessential stunt or like?
Oh, speedboat goes over the bridge.
Well, in
Or
all
the-
Bond movies, like they've been famous for
They're-
always having some sort of stunt.
They're action crazy. This one
Usually
has
in the
plenty of big
beginning.
action scenes.
Usually in the beginning there'd be something because at
parkour.
the end he
Yeah.
gets away and he goes gagat,
Boom, bam, bam. Yes.
some huge. Yeah.
And then it kicks into the theme song.
Ding.
So do they? Because I have no idea if this is true or not, but with the popularity of that two-hand jetpack and like the drone you could stand on and have like those kind of personal flying devices.
Yeah.
I thought to myself they'll probably put one of these into Bond in
They
some
love
way.
that kind
And
of
they've
stuff.
already done jetpacks in Bond movies. Like Roger Moore flew around in a
Yeah.
jetpack.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I'm
but it was
actually
like
surprised that they
It
haven't
was the
done a
Super
real
Bowl one.
Yeah,
It was.
Yeah, the
It's
Bond-
in the
yeah,
movie.
you have the grips on them.
And you
Yeah,
got
yeah,
the got the great Gazoo white helmet on. You look like Fred Flintstone's genie. Remember the great Gazoo from the
Yeah,
Flintstones?
yeah,
You
yeah.
got the big Kelso helmet on.
But now there's that
the
like
Spaceballs helmet.
the military one that everybody's seen the Facebook video of the guy. He's the two hand,
Yeah.
are
Or
both
it's
on
his
the arm.
palms
It's his
or-
arm
yeah.
like the Iron Man.
Looks like
jetpack.
tactical, yeah. They don't have anything like that yet. Maybe the next one. I'm surprised. They usually are ahead of the curve when it comes to technology and stuff like that, for sure. There are like cool bike stunts, car stunts, all sorts of stuff like that throughout the movie. It's a solid action movie, but also just like a good movie with a good plot and some good acting. It was fun.
I miss because I know this probably doesn't have it because we're at a point now where these type of movies you have to take yourself super serious because you got all the tools, right? It's not like James Bond is going to wander into some like parade where there's like BMX guys like doing wheelies and then he has to wheelie on a. You know what I mean?
I mean, he
Like,
he might have pre-Daniel Craig. Like I
Yeah,
can see
he
Pierce
would've.
Brosnan
Yeah,
doing that.
they-
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Roger Moore, there was always a campiness in there.
Absolutely there was, yeah.
And they kind of
they took that
screwed
out with
of
these
it, yeah.
newer ones.
I was never a Bond person, so I don't really know a lot about. I've watched Skyfall. That's about all I've seen.
Yeah, everyone saw Skyfall,
Yeah.
right? That was like a
I
$1 billion
dumb
movie.
I dumb old man all the new Bonds. I haven't seen one of them because they don't fit the same. It's not the same Bond I grew up with.
Well, what you need to do is, I'm not saying you need to do
I
but
need to
what
binge it.
What we need to do is put it into context. The reason why it got darker and they took out all the goofy stuff is because...
See, I didn't even realize that there was any goofiness to Bond.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're campy fun throughout
It
all
was
of
like
them.
campy and more sex. It was really more.
I feel like I'd
about,
like that more.
Yeah, it was really more about the gadgets and then him solving the whatever, but he'd also get with the girl.
It's the reason why the Austin Powers movies have
Yes.
that. The Austin Powers movies feel more like Bond movies than
Yes.
the Daniel Craig
Interesting.
ones
Correct.
overall, which is
Correct.
interesting.
I'm
But-
glad we're talking about this. This is cool.
But I'll tell you, so like you got to remember, Batman Begins came out at the same time as Casino Royale. So what had happened was, consider both franchises. The Batman franchise in the 90s got all messed up with the Joel Schumacher movies, and people are like, oh, this is silly and campy, we don't like this. Same thing happened with the Brosnan movies. By the time they did the last one, Die Another Day, and he's sword fighting Madonna, and there's like an invisible car, no one liked that movie. So
Yeah.
everyone was like, both these franchises have lost their way. Christopher Nolan does Batman Begins, which is, let's reboot everything, take out all the goofiness, and then rebuild Batman. The Broccoli producers saw that and were like, Casino Royale, we'll go back to the very first Bond, take out all the goofiness, and we'll just do Bond Begins.
Yeah, real spy.
Yes, they threw in parkour because that was hot at the time. They got the same director who did GoldenEye because that was considered the best Brosnan movie.
Yep.
And Casino Royale popped off. So we're like, all right, we have to keep this going where we just introduce all these elements slowly. We have here's a cue. Okay, now here's like a gadget. Now here's this and that. Now with this new movie,
they
it feels
built
like
it
a
now.
full, yes.
Yeah,
it took them
yeah.
like 3 movies to get us some money penny type of thing. You know,
Sure.
it was weird, but it was
It
just
works.
a different context.
Yeah, I like it, but it works.
So, Chris, I want to run a bunch of movies by you.
Let's do it.
and
Speed
you,
round.
You tell me
Uh-oh.
if it's worth seeing or not, because these are movies I've seen a lot of advertising for, and I just don't know. But this movie got a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes audience score. It's
high.
Free Guy.
Free Guy is an okay, fun enough movie. I think it had the benefit of coming out during the summer when, movie theaters overall were just starting to reopen up again. And
Ryan Reynolds video game.
Ryan Reynolds
Yeah.
video game.
Yeah.
It's essentially what if a non-playing character in GTA gained awareness and decided he didn't want to just be an NPC.
Do they
anymore.
handle
I mean,
hot
interesting
coffee?
concept.
It's a fine concept.
Do
yeah, I
they handle
enjoyed it.
the hot coffee controversy of Grand Theft
They
Auto
do not.
5 or 4?
What is that?
Well, you could bang your girlfriend in different ways.
You
if
put
had
it. You put in a code.
if you
What,
put in
hot
the codes.
coffee was the code. I
Yeah, if
think?
you put in the code, you could
Oh.
you could do different positions and.
No, I like that.
Yeah, I knew you would. Yeah. Hold
I
on,
mean,
yeah, we'll talk.
No,
We'll talk.
there's no secret codes like that. At least sex wise, it's a
Right.
PG-13 movie.
Oh.
But it was enjoyable. I mean, I think it had the benefit of just like I was happy to be in a theater, you
Right.
know, at the time and seeing
Yeah.
a movie. And Ryan Reynolds is
Like
affable.
my first beer back at a bar. I'm
Yes.
like, this is the best.
This is
Yeah.
awesome. I missed this so much.
Yeah.
And then you look back and I was like, it was just a Bud Light. There's nothing special about it. So yeah, it's fine. It's a fine enough movie. When it comes out, it's good for like family stuff and sitting around TV.
What about Halloween movie? That of course is a
Halloween
season.
Kills?
Yep.
I read it. I read a review of this morning from Rolling Stone, and man, do they hate this movie.
If Rolling,
They-
Got a
if Rolling
71.
Stone gives it a bad review, then this movie is a stinker. Because that's
gonna
probably
say.
it's probably
Dude.
Peter Travers. Peter Travers is a hack.
It was it's a review that when I read it, I'm like, oh my god, I was like,
It almost makes you curious to be like, should I watch
yes!
this movie now to see what they did?
Tom, you know I'm not a movie person, but when I read this review, it just popped up in like, this is what you've missed today, and I'm like, all right, and it's Halloween Kills,
Yeah.
and I read the review, and they just
Savaged it.
flame it, and I'm like,
It's-
is there anything redeeming from this? Because
yeah.
it's got Jamie Lee Curtis, and I love her.
It is okay. I'll give you something redeeming. Anytime Michael Myers is on screen in the movie, it's banging on all cylinders.
Okay.
It's a fun, cool movie when he's out there killing people and doing stuff. The problem is, like half the movie, he's not around, and it's about the town. All the townies getting together and declaring mob justice. Like we're all going to take out Michael Myers, but then they end up like chasing.
Yeah,
the
but there's
wrong
one more
person or
part to
something.
this, so I
It's
think they're
stupid.
being unfair.
There isn't another part.
They're being fair.
I mean to part 3.
Right.
But part 2 should still stand on its
Yeah.
own as a movie. And I
right.
agree.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe when part 3 comes out, it might retroactively make the second one better. Like, oh, I see what they're going for overall. But that doesn't mean I have to sit through a lame
Correct.
second part.
That's true.
And that first Halloween that came out a couple years ago
Awesome.
was so
Good.
good.
It's
so
great.
good.
It's great.
So I don't understand how they
Have you seen that?
missed the mark so
No,
much.
no. I never watched scary
I
movies.
caught it one morning here. I'll just put it on because I don't want to feel so far out when you. I
Yeah.
did it when we talked about it the first time, I think, or maybe we didn't. I just did it in
Just
preparation.
threw it on, yeah.
But yeah, it's good. It's
Yeah.
really good.
It's a very fun, enjoyable movie and very intense.
Very throwback
and,
too.
And this new one, it's like muddled and what it almost is like we have something to say and they're trying to say something about mob justice and then when it's over, it's like you didn't say nothing.
Are they
This was
drawing
stupid.
correlations to like social media?
It
and
almost
jumping
feels like they're
on?
trying to say something
Yeah.
about like Twitter justice maybe, but it's
Yeah, like-
dumb. It sucks.
Okay.
And then also the marketing, it's mismarketed. If you look at the commercials and trailers, it always looks like it's going to be Laurie Strode versus Michael Myers.
Well, that's what I thought it was, and that's where this review went sideways.
Yes,
They were like,
because
you're-
it's a lie.
Yeah.
It's a lie. She never leaves the hospital because it all takes place the same night as the last movie. She never leaves the hospital. She's just talking to another dude.
and that's not a spoiler. It's just like that's the whole movie.
It's just I'm letting you guys warning.
Yeah.
Like you're being lied to. So I'm telling you the truth.
You really are being like, and
Yeah.
that kind of when I read that, I was like, oh, okay, I can see what you mean by that, Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a little heavy.
They got a little harsh on it.
Yeah,
I mean, like I said, anything that involves Michael Myers in like the beginning, the first 10 minutes of the movie is pretty incredible. But then it goes downhill so fast.
Okay,
So
good to
that
know.
sounds like a no for Tom.
good to know.
What about any indie films that have come out recently that you would suggest?
There's one I haven't seen it yet, but the reviews are so good. I can recommend it to anyone to check out. I want to go see it. It's at the Enzian right now. Lamb.
I'm going to see that this week.
Yes, Lamb looks wild. It's a Numi Rapace, I think is how you say her name. She's the original girl with the dragon tattoo, and she's been acting since then, kicking around. And so she does this movie where she's on a farm and they have sheep, and a sheep gives birth to a half lamb, half human baby. So then they decide to raise it. And the trailer is very enigmatic and weird and only hints at where it's going.
Yeah.
And it sort of seems like a dark comedy, but also seems like a really
Pretty
messed
serious,
up
yeah.
horror film. I'm not sure where they're going. It's A24, so they're a fantastic production
Yeah,
company.
we were just talking about them before you got here.
Yeah, they're great. So that's at the Enzian, and I definitely want to try.
I
to
don't
check
know
that
about
out.
some damn human lamb baby. I don't
Yeah.
know about that.
Hey, what happens when that human lamb baby turns into a ram man?
A
Right?
ram man.
That's what I'm scared
Wait
of.
a minute. We've seen this. Shape of Water.
There you go,
Then
Monster
the,
Meat.
then the lady falls in love with the Ram Man, and you know what Ram Man likes? Ram Jam.
Yeah, then he got the thing where it goes like that, and up there like that.
And then Ram Man gives to he's ramming it good.
Yeah.
He's all the Rams.
What is Ron's Gone Wrong?
It is an animated film that just looks
He's
like
out.
a big budget. Yeah, she's already
Well,
gone.
for my kids.
It might be good for your kids.
Oh, okay.
And you may like the fact that it's about a little robot that is just malfunctioning, and a kid gets this as a gift, and Ron has gone wrong. So it's just like a mad cab zany comedy. But the
So it's
voice
like
of the
his,
robot is Zach Galifianakis.
It's like his Alexa has gone crazy.
Yes, but it's like a bigger little white robot thing. And actually, the coolest thing I think about this movie is the McDonald's tie-in Happy Meal toy. Have you guys seen this toy online?
I haven't even heard of this movie. I'm surprised Tom's heard something before me.
Well, I'm
Look,
looking at
anything with his
Flickster.
boys, he's on it.
Yeah, it's for the boys. It's this little white guy, little white robot guy that you can put on top of your cell phone if you download a specific app, and then it reads the toy, and then his face flashes up on the white front of the toy itself and starts talking to you, and it interacts with the phone screen and starts doing stuff, and you can take options, tell it what to call your name. It's like a super advanced Happy Meal toy for this
Really?
movie
I want
that
one of
no
these.
one knows about.
Give me this
Okay.
damn toy.
Hold on. I like how they went because my sons will get McDonald's.
No, Maisie does it too. And the
5
last
or 6 times a week.
The last time we did this, you know what? You know
Yeah,
what?
but it's just cheese and a bun.
I'm
like,
glad he's being. No, they eat they got other stuff in there.
No, it's cheese in a bun.
Oh, is it cheese?
yeah,
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
that's their order.
Yeah, don't get that.
Yeah.
Don't
and,
do that.
And apple slices.
And it's not
They
even
can
warm
last
cheese,
5
cold
months.
cheese
Cold
in a
cheese?
bun.
Oh boy,
God.
It's disgusting.
it's not even cheese.
Maisie
No.
won't even eat McDonald's. She makes me take her to the butcher so I can get her fresh cut meat, and then she grills it in the backyard. she was buzzing her head in the backyard. Like, what are you doing back there? I'm giving myself a haircut. You pussy.
So, but they went from because the toys
No, I know what you're
that
going to say.
McDonald's offers.
The last
is-
one they did was the
is
50
so bad.
different it was 50 different Disney toys.
People were freaking out about those.
They
were hunks of crap.
But Andrea and I figured out something. We're like, they're like 50 different ones you could collect in every Happy Meal. And then they were like, after this, they made a big deal about this on the box. Because I read it. It's like, after this, we will no longer produce plastic garbage
Really?
toys. And I'm like, well, you did 50 different ones to collect, so you're
They had to
just...
get rid of all that plastic.
Yeah.
And then they felt bad about it. They're like, oh, we did 50. That's too many. We feel bad about this now. So that's
So no more
probably why
plastic.
they went to this new... And I bet you this is super hard to find for kids because every GD adult out there that I want collectibles like Butler, these collectible dorks are out there collecting everything.
I like how it's just plastic garbage with a tiny computer chip in there that's also going to be in the landfill.
Yeah.
It's-
No, yeah, it'll be in the landfill in
What's-
2 weeks.
It's worse.
Yeah.
It's got a battery in it.
Yeah.
That'll
We're
kill a
just-
fish. You killed a fish, you idiot.
Because I do look at all that stuff. I'm like, man, I don't like the garbage food is the garbage food, whatever, as treats. It's still garbage, but the garbage.
Yeah, the actual garbage.
Because it does just end up getting punted into the trash because it has no shelf life. No one cares about it
Someday,
for
same
more
day.
than 1 minute.
That's when I really get sad is when Maisie's like playing with her plastic Mulan and drops it and its face gets scratched in a parking lot and she's like, and then I throw it away. And I'm like, it's less than an hour old.
No,
That's
no
not
one,
long
Yeah.
for it to be that disposable.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is ruining the world. Like,
yeah.
like I tell my sons, like, this is why you won't have the world when you grow up. Right? This is true. Anyway,
My God.
so let's talk a little bit about some shows because I've been watching Squid Game just like everybody else.
Yep. Hate the name, love the show.
Only
Translation thing, right? It's a Korean, because that's actual game that they play, a Squid Game.
Yeah,
apparently.
it's like Foursquare or
It
something,
does look like
right?
a
Or like run
Foursquare,
around the.
sort
It
of.
does look like Foursquare, but you're supposed to run and then you're supposed to tag the area.
And they're sort of like a kill the man with the ball. Then you gotta like knock him
wall
out of
ball.
the sort of thing. It's interesting.
is this the most popular
Netflix show.
Netflix show?
I don't believe that.
That
That's what
has
they said.
That's what they said.
Well,
Right. Yeah.
but I mean that has come out by a foreign language in a foreign
Yes,
country.
it is for sure the most popular international Netflix show, 100%. And I think, isn't Bridgerton? Is Bridgerton an American production?
Bridgerton was their original.
Because Bridgerton is what
Yeah.
they said what had the most views.
What
and
was
now
it? 84 million, and then
I don't
this
know
is like 114 million,
which
like,
would be then over half of their registered worldwide subscribers. Because
Correct.
they have 209 million subscribers as of spring.
Yeah, I think it was 80 and 114 were the.
That's crazy. That's I mean, to get half of your customer base to watch the same thing, even just like a few minutes of one episode is incredible.
And it's intense. It's not like it's an easy watch. You
No.
know? I mean, it is an easy
They're
watch.
saying it's the
but-
biggest series that they've had at launch. So it's not like
Okay.
like over the years it's
Interesting.
grown like a
Okay.
bigger audience. You know,
Yeah.
it's got 111 million accounts have viewed
Whoa.
it, but that's also only the accounts, and that some people share accounts. And
So that even more people.
Right,
then.
exactly.
Some people share it now. Man, I wouldn't.
yeah.
and it's only been
doesn't-
out for what, a month?
Raise
Maybe-
your hand
maybe
if
that,
you
yeah.
share your accounts.
With other people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, yeah.
So
me too.
I'm just doing like
Yeah,
if all of
'cause
us here,
Crystal's
including
sister
me, I'm
uses
the
our
new guy,
account, yeah.
right? Like I'm Johnny, don't watch a lot, and I still share mine.
Yeah.
It's the
Okay.
number one series on Netflix top 10 list in 94 different countries.
Whoa.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Like when those type of things hit and are super, I mean, there's no really rhyme or reason. Like obviously it's a interesting show. The concept has been around for years, obviously.
Yeah, it's
like,
classism. It's the haves and the have-nots. That is literally a centuries-old issue amongst people. Yeah, for sure.
And but
Maybe
it's-
late-stage capitalism now makes it ring a little truer for people. That's why it's popping off more. All this stuff with the economy and people quitting their jobs, et cetera. So what are we willing to do for money? And then the show is explicitly about what are people who are desperate for money, what are they willing to do?
And that's
that
a
could
real
play into it.
that's a real problem in South Korea too. I mean, that's
Absolutely
like
everywhere.
That's
No.
like it's everywhere, but like this thing is like it really is a sort of a mirror to like South Korean society. There's actually a really good article, I believe it's in the New Yorker, about that. And how they're basing real financial issues in that country based on the show. So it would resonate good there, but obviously it resonates like
Everywhere,
you said,
yeah.
everywhere.
Because it's a little more universal, that whole economic
we're
turmoil.
all in this together.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You know what's interesting? It's a pretty like easy way to market yourself if your movie is very visual and you can just pick out a couple things where you're like, oh, that's like, and like if SNL can do a skit and they have some basic markers like the jumpsuits,
The pink suits.
like a
The
couple
giant doll, the red light, green light game.
yeah, like a couple things where people are like, oh, that then
They're like bullet points almost,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
that somehow I think plays into the popularity of these type of things. Where it's
Easy, like iconography to latch onto. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
absolutely.
something as simple as that dumb theme song.
Yeah, the theme song works.
Like
Or
when you hear that, it's so unmistakable. Like
the red light, green light
okay,
song.
I'll give you exactly.
Interesting name of
like,
the
when
show,
you
like-
hear it, you're like, oh, I know what that is. I'll give you another one. If you play the theme to The Sopranos, there-
People know what it is.
yeah, people know what it is. There are certain things though that like not everybody embraces that
Mm-hmm.
really, really well or does a great job with it. These are two maybe that I think
Did
rely
it better
on
than
it.
most.
Yeah,
There's
do it
also
better
the
than
whole
most.
memification of
Yes.
media now. So
Yeah.
as soon as the show came out, people started creating those honeycomb candies and putting cutouts in them and then playing their own versions of the Squid Game on TikTok with the honeycombs and stuff. Like that was an old Korean thing that's been out of fashion for decades apparently over there, and now the show's making it popular again.
for sure, like everybody's gonna try to copy this, right?
Yes.
Like not directly, but just like all these different things
Yeah.
that have like made sense because they're like, oh, great for marketing. Like we need to come up with another Squid Game
Yeah.
because how
Like we need guys in suits. We need people who are scared.
You know what I thought?
That's the
Oh, yeah.
element.
This is what
Yeah.
I thought like of this, and I may be wrong, but there's something. I believe that there's a connection here. Is that the popularity of these games like Fortnite and what is it? Player and I forget the.
There's Rocket League, the
UPUG
racing
or
one.
whatever. Like I forget what they're all called, but those type of battle royale games where it's you against everybody else, and you kill everybody, and if you're last man standing, you're the guy.
Yeah.
Those games are the most popular games online, especially if
yeah.
you're playing with other people. I don't play those type of games. They're not. It gives me too much anxiety. It's not my bag. But I think they're cool. This is just a watchable version of that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it seems like to me. Is that a lot of our stuff is going in the. It's just in the same vein.
It's just more Thunderdome stuff. We're watching two people enter, one man leave. And
Yeah,
even
I
if it's
mean,
in the TV show form.
We're getting back to the. I just can't wait until we have Coliseums back with lions and the whole
the
nine.
gladiators, man.
Yeah, it's coming, man.
Yeah,
It's coming.
It feels like it.
with the new way people consume media, and we see a lot more docu-series,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it seems like it also opens up topics that people couldn't do before because they couldn't put it all in an hour and a half
Sure.
or an hour documentary.
And or also the audience wasn't there for that kind of like long form stuff. Now it is.
Yes, and so it seems like they can go back and make a lot of documentaries, maybe even redo a documentary and just extend it into like
Update
a
'em.
5 or
Yeah.
6 part docu-series, make it fatter.
Yeah.
And that's an easy content that people can provide for these services and stuff. Like I'm sure they're just trying to rocket those out because you can get like a 7-part docuseries. That's 7 hours of content. Release it weekly. People start talking about it. Like they've done it multiple times. Are there any new docuseries that you've seen or heard people talk about that are coming out?
The only recent one I know of that seems like got any traction is that Brittany Murphy one that played on HBO Max maybe like a week ago. And both sides, reactions from both sides. Some people are saying it's very interesting and well made, and some people are like, this is very exploitive, and it doesn't feel like you're doing Brittany Murphy justice by doing this documentary. I haven't watched it, so I can't really comment on the quality of it. But that one,
what's
Is
similar?
it about her life?
it's about the end of her life and her weird
The
husband.
death.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
death.
wow,
How mysterious it was
She
and
died
all that.
mysteriously, and then he died exactly the same
Correct.
way.
Yeah,
Mysteriously.
like less than a
Like
year
6
later.
months later.
Yeah, like you know what's really
I did
interesting?
a whole podcast on this.
No,
She's
he
one with the
listened to
info.
it. He heard it.
Tom listens to
Well, I
it
don't
every day.
know.
He listens to it. Always put it up as Halloween decorations. He told me. These type of like, it seemed like we used to be as a society in a place where we wouldn't do documentaries after the fact that come back and then like even speak ill of the dead, even if the person is bad.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like it used to be like we were there. But now there are a couple documentaries lately, like this The Way Down documentary, where the main two characters who are S-bags die in a plane crash, and then they have like the guy's ex-wife on the documentary just laying him out, which is new to me. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's anything. I'm just when I watch it, I'm like, that's not how I was raised. You know, like, I know the way I was raised. I know the things that I've seen. And when I watch that, I go, that is a different take. That is a different...
They're not just speaking ill of the dead, but they're doing it, like, on camera in perpetuity.
But I think it also depends because, like, I watch a lot of true crime stuff, and that's always been a thing. Like, if somebody's, like, a serial killer or a rapist or something, like, they will talk to, like, the ex-wife or whatever, and they're not speaking nicely about those people.
It's just weird. It's because, like, people are willing to do it. So then you have that, and then you have this other one that you're talking about now where you're actually getting to talk to these type of people,
and it's all
right?
speculation too, because
Right.
they don't really know.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But then they have, like, I believe the her ex, or he's deceased now too, the husband, the weirdo
His
guy.
mother.
Yeah, they have different people from his life that speak pretty poorly of him, and I'm like, wow. Look where we are. Anybody will talk about anything on camera. It's like, all right.
Hey, as long as you get paid for it. Hey, pay me enough money. I'll talk bad about any of you guys.
Yeah,
I'll do it. I'll do
I
it
hope you
today.
would.
Yeah,
I mean,
let's do it.
But do it after I'm dead.
Oh, fair.
And really go hard.
Okay,
Make
fair.
up some stuff.
So you can't hear it?
Make up stuff.
All right. You can't defame a dead person. So that's easy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we're still doing the Oscars, which it's at this
crazy.
point it's kind of like a lot of people, even though there's going to be a
Or aren't the Golden Globes going without a network this year?
The Golden Globes, I think, are going without a ceremony or anything this year because of the whole controversy with the Hollywood Foreign Press Association and how they've been historically racist, and people have been calling them out for years, but
They're
it all
just
finally came to
doing
a
it.
head a couple years ago. So Golden Globes
Were they
may
just
be
mailing
done.
the awards to people, or
No, the Golden Globes just may be done for now.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, for a while because they are without a TV contract at the moment.
I heard they were going to try to do it themselves.
Try to do
Yeah,
it
it does
themselves.
say the Golden Globes will hold a 2022 ceremony without NBC involvement.
It'll be fascinating to see if
weird.
the actors and the people who are nominated show
Right.
up because the HFPA is a very looked down upon organization.
I think
at
you're
the
getting your
moment.
wish. I think this is the first brick falling out of
All
the wall.
all the ratings have been tanking. The Grammys, the Emmys, all those shows have been tanking. The Oscars had their lowest ratings last year of any year ever. How much can that be pandemic? How much can that be just because it's the Oscars and people don't care anymore? But I mean, even the Super Bowl had slightly lower numbers this past year than it has in the past. So the only thing I like about the Oscars is that the Academy does raise money that they then put into grants that they then give to young filmmakers. They try to support their own LA film industry because it is a local film ceremony. It is the Hollywood Film Awards. It's right there in LA. And they also just built the world's largest movie and TV museum out in Los Angeles, which I would like to go check out. I've been to the world's largest museum before this one, and it is teeny tiny. It's 4 stories in Queens, New York, the Museum of the Moving Image. It's very small. So now to go to this huge complex that's like a gigantic building with all this history sounds almost makes it sound like it's worth it to go to LA just for that if you're into movies, So
So with the popularity, going down with the Oscars, are people still trying to
make those movies
to get on there. I mean, it's still a windfall
yes.
if they recognize you. So you still have to do it because
there's still money there to be made.
Yeah.
But maybe the budgets for those quote Oscar movies go down. Maybe less of them get made. There's less, and then less money gets spent within the industry. So that's another thing about the Oscars. You got to think about the money spent within Hollywood. So people are like spending money on advertisements for like in Variety and billboards that you only see in LA, parties where they're getting all these industry professionals to come and hobnob with your actors and directors, just trying to get people like, oh yeah, I actually met Mel Gibson yesterday and his movie is here. It's been nominated, so let me actually think about voting for it. You know,
God.
They do that kind of hobnobbing crap, and it works.
I visit his voicemails once a month.
It keeps me active, keeps me alive.
The secret recordings of him yelling for dinner are so good.
It's crazy.
Oh, I want to talk about this documentary. My wife watched it on the plane. I still haven't watched it, but it's called Spaceship Earth.
Yes.
Have you heard about this?
I've seen it.
Oh, you've seen it?
Yeah.
This is cool. And Chris can tell us what it's about since I just saw it.
It's real life biodome.
Yeah. But
I mean, is it about the Epcot ball?
No. And Chris,
that is Spaceship Earth.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's this group of people that came together. They're like super smart, probably on the spectrum people. That basically would think of things that they could accomplish and try to accomplish them for really no other reason than to see if they could do it.
That's what we do. We're like, we want to etch a wiener on a mug and have people stand outside to get
and
it.
see if they'll actually wait for it outside.
So how did it start? I wanted to go in the transition of the building the ship and then the biodome.
I did see it last year, so I don't have that great recollection of it, but I do remember it's a biodome. These guys were like, let's make a geodesic, how do you say it? A geodome and live inside this thing for like a year.
And to see if they can completely seal themselves up in a biodome and then the oxygen, everything inside the dome, and live in there for a year.
Grow food in there.
Self-sustaining.
100%.
So they get even the type of and they have different basically they have a desert, they'll have a jungle,
different environments within the dome.
Different environments and to try to emulate as close as possible Earth.
How long do you take them to put this thing together? I mean, you don't do this in a weekend, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. It took a while.
I think I've got some jungle stuff. You get your desert stuff and meet me over here.
I got the PVC pipe and let's go.
Well,
let's go.
Before this, they built their own ship and lived on it for and they sailed around the world, but they built it by hand.
Oh my God.
From literally
Noah did.
Yeah, and this huge sailboat, and then they sailed it around the world, lived on it, and they didn't even know they weren't sailors. They never built a ship. They just figured it out. It's and then they built.
Somebody there's got to be a genius, right? Because you don't.
I think they all are.
Yeah, they all. They're
you'd have to. That is some higher.
They don't have families.
There's some evolved humans.
And that was it's in the 70s, right?
Yeah,
and then, a while ago.
So the
wait a minute, these are old.
Yeah.
This happened a while ago.
This is in 1991. That's what the.
Yeah, but I think they'd been doing
maybe the sailing the ship
was
or whatever.
before 91. Yeah.
But so the biodome they created, they built it and they lived in it, and they basically said, we don't know if this is possible, but we're gonna have all of our data public to see,
Was
maybe
this the catalyst for the movie Biodome? I'm not even joking.
It
looks very similar to what the Biodome looked like.
Probably.
May have well been.
That was in 1996.
It's just a couple years later, right?
Yeah. And they're wearing the same jumpsuits.
They're
It's
just
really
making fun of
weird.
it.
Yeah.
So and from what my wife described, it seemed like the people they didn't have any agenda or anything. They just wanted to see if they could do it. And the media lambasted them for being kooks and weirdos.
They're a cult.
And then they found out that they were putting in a little bit of extra oxygen into the biodome.
Because what happened, they couldn't generate enough oxygen in the dome, so they were all getting lethargic and depressed, and they didn't know what was going on. And then didn't someone just crack a panel or something? They just snuck oxygen in and cheated, and everyone's by the whole. Breathing
Cancel them for cheating.
They're trying to do something.
Nope, I saw you crack the window. You are canceled.
They just crack a window.
So
it's so funny.
It's interesting where it is a testament.
No, they tried. They did more than I could.
Some of the first media attacking someone, and then everybody just going along with what someone read a story these people are doing they're fake and they're crazy, and then it's portraying
burn down the dome.
and so you're that was happening even back then. It's always been happening.
It's always been the same.
People are always doing stunts and making asses of themselves, pretty much.
So, Chris, Cinema Crespodiso, podcast, PFT Media, any new podcast on PFT Media?
We have some that we're actually in the process of producing a few. I don't want to say publicly what they are. I can let you guys know off mic if you want to know, but there is stuff.
No,
you can find out with the
on
rest.
mic or nothing.
Yeah. Well, then you can find out with the rest of the public in a few weeks, hopefully. And then patreon.com/Crespodiso is my Patreon for new episodes every Friday.
Awesome.
I enjoyed you on Ross's podcast.
Yes, Tots.
Yeah, I enjoyed you on Big Tim's podcast.
Just did that a couple weeks ago. Yeah, radicalizing rednecks.
He's making the rounds over here.
Just did a semantic show as well.
I was going to say, you're on everybody's show.
We do all the podcasts. It's not that special. You're anywhere. We're going to lock you down.
He did yours last, though.
Burn down his biodome.
All right.
Stay away from my biodome, please.
We'll be right back with more Corporate Time.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
Let's do some emails.
All right, buddy. I love emails. Since both of us can't read, it's nice to have somebody in here that can read this to us so we can actually answer.
This actually says, and I don't know if I believe it or trust it, Butler made me snort laugh.
Oh, come on. Is he emailing us?
On last Thursday's ACT entitled All Rise, Butler joined the last segment when you guys were talking about trying to get rid of the contents of your storage locker. Obviously, he comes in and immediately curses, which is vintage Butler.
It is vintage. That's classic Butler right there.
But then he chimes in with a one man's trash is another man's garbage, which literally made me snort with laughter.
I heard that too.
We all know what he meant, but I'll be damned if it didn't get me. Never change, Butler.
He got all flustered that he said it wrong.
One man's trash is another man's garbage.
You know, you're more alike to him than you want to admit. That's
true.
very
What? I'm nothing like him.
No, that's a very much a Tom Bumble, like a Stumble Bumble. Like you guys are cute together.
No, I'll bumble.
You guys are like brothers. You step brothers. Like the movie Step Brothers is starring Tom Van, Travis Butler.
But I'll go.
Which one are you?
You're more like Butler
You're
than I am.
Will Ferrell, and he is the other dude.
See, we all.
John C. Reilly.
Yeah, John C. Reilly. I was gonna call him the other guy, the guy from Boogie Nights that died. Philip Seymour Hoffman. Yeah.
I was going to talk about this on Friday's show, and maybe we'll go into it more.
Okay,
but when you and Butler went to
I saw that in your email. Yeah, I saw you write things down. You're talking crap about it.
No, I'm just saying that me and Samantha are like, finally.
I know that.
Yeah. Because you guys are the number one chirper.
Because what makes a good show? What makes a good show are four people sitting in a room not saying anything until they crack the mics. That makes a good show. That's good planning.
Gotta be fresh.
Yeah, gotta be fresh. You gotta warm up.
We start talking about stuff, and then we're like, don't talk about it, talk about it on the show. And then
Tom will come in here, and he will sit down at his computer and stare at the same number on his computer for 2 hours, and then walk in here, sit down, and be like,
but there's a million things going on in the brain.
We gotta talk. We have to communicate. All in this together.
We talk for a living.
Yeah. It's like actors that they're like, oh, he's brilliant. He's staying in character. Now, Jim Carrey is that big fatso that's rude to everybody else.
He was even Batman at Craft Services.
Yeah. That's not a very good actor. If you can't just turn it on and turn it off, you turn into that guy.
I can turn it off and turn it on, but I guess I need to know from you two how much of this is real and how much of this is fake. Because if this is what you want,
oh no, you started it.
If this is what you want, then be careful what you wish for, sir.
I'm just making fun of you. I don't want you to change.
What you wish for, sir. That's not what you wrote in my yearbook. You wrote, please change.
Never change.
Keep
it real.
That's your nature.
Keep in touch.
You can't change your nature. You like talking, and that's fine.
No, this is nurture. This was created in the lab.
We're just gonna
Fauci.
Ignore you.
Me and Samantha are gonna give us a sigh of relief when you guys go on a Publix run.
I'll never leave again.
And now
I'll never leave again.
No, that's fine.
Whatever you want.
Damn you, Tom.
I'll give you the exact opposite. Guess who's bringing his lunch for life? Me. Me.
Well, if you're quiet, that's fine.
No, never quiet. Never quiet. Never quiet. You have no idea. Oh man, the chirps are coming, baby, and it's coming hot.
You're not bad. Butler's the worst. Butler
I'm pretty
doesn't
bad.
stop talking about God knows what.
On Mondays, you're gonna get the rundown of the whole weekend.
I'm pretty bad because I walk out on Butler. I walk out on Butler. He was talking to me today, and I was like, God damn! And I walked in here, and I had to escape.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I'm bad. Admittedly, I know
How
that
bad
I
does
am,
he chirp to his wife, Butler? Like, is he
my
just
wife was
nonstop
chirping
talking?
to me this morning. I hung up on her. My wife's just talking to me. I was like, I can't talk to you right now. I'm like, I need my caffeine. I'm hanging up on you.
My wife will call me and then just stay on the phone.
I know.
Silence.
Yeah,
you guys are weird.
You guys are like 16-year-olds. You're like, I just want breathe so I know you're still there.
I don't want that.
You hang up. No, you hang
I
up.
just-
You hang up. No, you hang up. I love you more. I love you more.
No, I don't
It's
want
nuts.
that. I'm just afraid to initiate the crow if I say like, I gotta go. Like, what are you doing?
Why?
Well, what's wrong
Why
with
did she
saying-
call you to begin with?
Just
What's
to
the
hear him
purpose?
breathe.
I don't know. I think it's a mess with me. Like, it's to somehow.
Can you just ask her not to call you during work
Oh,
hours?
I did that one time. Remember that caused a 6-month drought.
Oh no, a drought.
This guy didn't have sex for 6 months
yeah,
because
yeah.
we piled on a
Well,
little bit.
I
We're like,
apologize.
yeah, have that crow not call you. It's where productivity's in the dumper.
Why don't you just text each other
No.
if you have something important to say?
She does that
he's-
too.
He says I'm old school. He says I'm old school because I got cable TV. This guy still calls her from a rotary landline.
She'll text me and call me. And
I
And
hate
you guys
that.
never have anything to talk about. I
stopped
don't
that.
understand
I
it.
stopped that with Andrea. Andrea used to text me and be like, "Hey, are you busy?" And then as I'm reading, "Hey, are you busy?" she'd call. I stopped that. I said, "You guys stop that.
Ah.
You're not giving me the chance to answer.
Right.
Am I busy?
Right.
You have to give me the chance. Like if I answer no, then call. If I answer yes, even then you can still call. It's fine. But you got to give me the opportunity to at least reply.
Yeah.
But your wife is logical like I am. You tell her something, she'll be like, okay, noted, and that won't happen anymore. But she won't take
You are
it.
correct.
She won't take offense to it.
No,
she
she's
won't take
like
it as
you.
a personal attack. She
She doesn't take offense to me being drunk, falling down the stairs, and pooping in the foyer. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. She doesn't take offense to nothing.
So I tell my wife, hey, you have to call me. And then she's like, oh, it's like I.
Well, don't say it like that.
No, even if it's like, hey, well, I'm working or whatever.
Hey.
Oh, you so got too important stuff for me.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
like-
trying to make money. Yeah, that's important.
She takes it like a personal attack, and she's mad.
What if you're blowing up her phone while she's doing a showing at a house?
Oh, she'll like it. She'll be like,
Oh.
oh, you're thinking of me.
Yes. Call
She's
me more.
insane. You're both insane.
Well, Daniel's insane.
I'm
And
not insane.
Emotional people act insane because there's no logic or
They're
rationality.
the type
behind
of
it.
people that
mean,
will do passion kills.
I
Right?
didn't think just talking to your friends was bad, but I mean, you guys are villainizing it
No.
pretty hard today.
Because we're joking around about it, but you take it as a
personal-
personal
Look,
attack. You're mad about
I
it.
am learning that friends don't like being talked to. That's fine. It's okay.
Yeah, it's how you're taking the saying a lot of stuff this morning, and then it's like, oh Mo, yeah, well I'll get you
Doubling down.
Like what? I didn't say nothing.
No, just,
And
it's
that's
fine.
how my wife takes it. I'm like, hey, you gotta call. I get off at 2:30 or
When the
No,
chirping
no.
when the chirping dries up, you'll be sad.
Wait, that's just said about the BJ's.
One day you turn around and what were you sad?
Yeah, of course I was.
Okay, well, you didn't
But I
learn
mean,
your lesson.
Yeah. But you don't give him that. So not really worried about what you could do to retaliate at this point. What?
No, don't worry about it. It's fine. I'll work it out in my own head tonight when I'm talking to my therapist. They
my
don't
God.
like me. Like, what happened? Well, they say I talk too much in the mornings, so I'm just trying to start the day and just pleasantries. They're like, hey, did you have a good weekend? Just nice things you say to friends that you care about because you actually care about what they did this week because you actually care about the person. You're not so self-consumed with your own life that no one else around you matters. We're all in this together.
Listen, this
All in
this
together.
will ruin the show. Because
Which part?
I wasn't gonna say anything, Samantha. If the show gets ruined, Samantha's fault.
Why? You brought it up just now. I didn't bring it up.
No,
I
but-
said that in the confidence between you and I.
But you wanted him to bring it up. I felt it. I could feel it.
Yeah, but you're the one that noticed it and then
That is
started
not
talking about
true.
it.
You
Yeah.
started laughing and you're like, I know.
Yeah, I know.
Well, yeah, well, you
They're-
said it.
They're so bad.
Yeah. And then I just agreed with it, but then I saw how much it bothered Daniel, so I went along with it.
I'm sure
but this
every-
will ruin
I'm
the
sure
show.
everybody with the podcast and radio show would say the two quiet people are killing it on the show. They're killing
Well,
killing it with their wicked silence. Wow, that helped out.
Well, on the show,
It's different.
that's where I'm fine with talking.
But there is an actual need for a relationship and a rapport and an exchange of ideas that is beneficial for the actual program. I don't
No,
think I
yeah,
need
yeah,
to tell
yeah.
you. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
you guys have been doing this stuff for so long, and
You do,
obviously
yeah.
you're as successful at it as I am, so obviously you guys know what you're doing. You got it all figured out. That's fine. Yeah, we'll just do it your way. No warm-up. We'll just come in cold. See how that vibe goes. Oh, I'll tell you how that vibe's going to go, because I'm gonna be that vibe.
Can you send me the chirping in a video, like a morning video that you email me?
Oh, no.
And then
Good mythical morning.
and then I'll give you
Chirp.
a yellow thumbs up if you want.
I don't want a yellow thumb. Brown thumb or nothing. Next email.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. Hey guys, first off, thank you all for the Chris and the 1% better love. I love hearing you guys make references to the 1% method on the show. And recently, Chris and his dad, Nick, who was copied on this email, co-authored a book that tells the amazing life story of Nick and Chris and is a guide to making your dreams come true using the 1% better method. We would love to promote the book to your listeners on the show and are available in person or via Zoom. So I got to hit up Simone
Not
about
interested.
this. We have been bringing it up quite a bit lately.
Yeah, it's a good motto or theme to live by. But I will say though, eventually it'll be impossible.
You're never getting to 100%.
Well,
We're only supposed to be 1% better than the day before, right?
But eventually you're going to be at 100% of good person? Or
So
what are
after,
we
No,
going for?
technically
after
not, because
100 days, I should be the best
That's
at
what I'm saying.
anything I do.
But no, not necessarily, because it's not 1%. It's 1% better than the whole. So say you're 10% good at push-ups or whatever. So your point or your goal would be to get 1% better than the 10%. And then when you're 11%, then 1% of 11% is what?
Oh my God.
I mean,
You're the numbers guy over
Let me
there.
ask you a question.
Hold on,
Sam.
because that's just one.
Sam, I know.
Help me.
It's
Sam, I
1%
know
better
that-
of what you are now,
Sam, I know
which is
that-
not one full percentage point.
I know that in recent
It's more
months,
than
you
that.
and Tom's relationship has blossomed a bit, but you can either
It's
have
done nothing.
You can either have this or you can have
Hold
some
on.
chirping, because this to me is worse than chirping. This math bumble or whatever this is called, I don't know what
He's
this is
that
called.
gif where the lady's just staring up into the sky and numbers are floating
I,
around.
this is, you know what I'm looking at? It's like I'm looking at it. It's like Einstein lost his shoes or something. Like I don't know what I'm looking at. He's like,
This guy doesn't know percentages.
like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's at 1%. Okay, 1%
Oh my Christ!
of
One, but then
1%.
Maybe you do
of
need a chirp in the
15.
morning.
see the chirp would wake you up a little bit.
Anyway, so it's extremely complicated. I don't even understand it. Impossible.
There it is.
Impossible.
Impossible. I like
Impossible
it.
to understand.
There it is.
I give
No
up.
one can understand
I
it.
give
Figured
up.
it out.
Yeah, no one can understand it. Like, what is it? 1 percentage point better, or is it 1%
But I don't-
of your total
total
percentage?
I don't think you're
of
supposed
how
to dial
good-
it down. No, you're just supposed to. It's like colloquial phrase now. Just be 1% better. Just try hard is what you're
Well,
saying.
how will I know if I achieve that goal
Right.
if
You'll
I
never
don't
know.
know?
That's what I need to know.
It's impossible.
Yeah. Like, is doing one push-up more than I did before actually 1% of my total ability?
Also, you don't want to go out early. Like if I do one push-up, the next day do 3, then I do like 7% better. Like, I screwed up the whole equation. Now all the math's off now.
Yeah. Then now you're 7% better.
Now
and then
my drawer's short.
so 1% of that 7% added on to the original percentage,
Yeah.
which is some just number you made up, right? Because how do you know what percentage good you are at anything?
You know what?
Yeah, who's giving me this?
Yeah,
To
with
know.
math, I have 0% chance of getting anything right. So 1% of 0%, I know everybody knows that, is 0. There's no way for me to get better because I'm so bad at math.
Anyway,
I overdrafted this morning, by the way.
yeah.
I didn't want to say this, but I'll
he's
say
better
it.
than all of us.
I overdrafted this morning. I bought a plane.
Another plane?
Yeah, and
What
our
kind?
check came in a day late. I told you that yesterday.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
today, I told you that. And what kind of plane? I bought a hospital Airbus.
For how
I'm
much?
laughing at it.
How much?
$22.
$22.
Yeah.
So what's is it just a replica of
Yeah.
an Airbus that's converted into a
Called the
hospital?
Flying Eye in the sky.
Why'd you buy that?
I don't know. I saw it and I was like, I don't have that plane. I want to fly that one in severe weather.
That maybe you have some sort of spending disorder. What is that called?
A spending disorder. Sorry.
No. It's like there's a certain like
Shopaholic.
yeah, but I think
Yeah,
that's.
I shop till I drop. I have the shirt.
I think there's something else.
Butler bought me that shirt actually.
Like, what's the addiction to like frivolously spending?
I think it'll have extra features, and I like the collect them all. It's the collecting them all type deal.
Compulsive spending or shopping addiction?
Yeah. Are you
Yeah.
a compulsive
I'm
spinner?
but only with virtual items.
Spinner, you spinning over there?
Don't even get me started. If I were to buy one NFT, I might bankrupt my family. I like to buy things that aren't real.
Oneomania.
That's
is
me.
like the scientific
Yeah,
term
I
for
did.
that.
This is a true story. You can call Andrea right now. I overdrafted again. That's the second time.
Well,
It's bad.
does she have to take your privileges away? Like
She removed. I don't know if you guys saw that. Did you guys get an email? She removed our savings account from our PayPal.
Uh-oh.
It used to be linked. And that's how I sneak my plan. This is all real stuff that she's going to be mad at me for even saying, but I don't care. Whatever. She's already mad at me. And it's
like,
Well, do
I'm just
I
gonna
have to
ruin
worry
my
about
relationship.
Hold on, call Andrea. Let me ask her how
Can't
bad.
call her during business hours.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can call her.
I'm gonna ask her how bad
Yeah.
your addiction
She's
is.
writing,
Rodeomania
no, she's
is.
writing her book called 99% Better Than My Husband.
No.
Like, do I need to be concerned? It's like
No, not, well, I did.
I'm a little concerned.
Okay, I
for
did.
it's like when you
No.
I
hire
did-
Jake the Snake, you
Okay.
hide the liquor bottles.
You want the true story? During our lunch break, I drove to True Leave to pick up my marijuana, and I'd overdrafted my card, so I couldn't buy it. So I used the business card to buy my marijuana.
Yeah. That's
You probably
okay.
saw that come through, and I know you
No, I don't
approved
see
that.
anything. I don't even know where it
you
comes
don't-
from.
Well, that's good.
Okay. So
What the hell's happening?
But I used the reason I couldn't buy my weed with my money is because I used my money to buy a virtual plane for a video game. So I used the company's money. So you should feel confident that everything's fine.
That's fine because I feel like that
Oh,
if
man.
you're using the company's money for True Leave, that's a sponsor. It's like a snake eating its own tail. It's we give them money, they pay us. It's all good.
Wait,
but-
are we all allowed to use the business card for
No, well, Daniel's got extra privileges.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
1% better.
1% better? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to get Andrea to call.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm not good with that stuff. I actually, that is something I inherited from my father. I can make money and I can spend it. That's about it.
Well, that's the only two options.
No, but I can't
can
look.
save it.
No, I can't look at it. I can't
Yeah, oh,
budget
yeah,
it. I
you can
can't
save
save it.
Hey, Tom doesn't realize you
Yes,
can save money.
Team Dan. He's on Team Dan. See,
I
I
got
knew
it.
you were.
I got it.
All of this together.
Start
I knew
going
you
to
were-
bailiff school.
bailiff school. Is there?
This whole thing's gonna go down soon.
Nah, it's fine. We got 5 more years at least.
Yeah. 5.
Oh no.
3.5.
Oh yeah.
One year better.
Every day we come in. What's less than 1%? Like,
A fraction of a percent.
can we get 0.001% better?
She might be she might be busy, or maybe she divorced. No, she said she's calling right now.
No.
I was like, maybe she's
Yeah,
divorced.
she is. Line 2.
Line 2.
Grab that.
Or maybe she's divorcing me. Hey, babe.
Hi.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. Well, I just, I was, Tom wants to talk to you
Andrea.
about maybe me being
Well,
not the best husband.
I just know. Well, it has nothing to do with being the best husband. It has to do with your addiction or your compulsive spending addiction that you have. And I just need to know how bad it is.
Well, I
Do
bought
I
that.
need to hide the monies?
You know, I bought that plane and I overdrafted. So then when I went to True Leave, I didn't.
So how bad is it, Andrea? Like, sometimes
She took our savings account off the PayPal, Tom. It's bad.
you don't see.
Because wait, I didn't realize he was also spending by taking little bits from our savings until Bank
It's
of
called
America
stealing.
sent me a letter and said, "Hey, you're only supposed to do 6 transactions from your savings account a month."
Yeah.
Well,
I've
they
done,
flagged
like-
it,
yeah.
and then when I started looking, it's because he's been using the PayPal to pay for things.
Planes.
And that was hooked up to the savings account. And
I
then
was using my life savings on virtual planes, Tom.
it's because he doesn't look and care. And I say stuff, and he'll be like, "This is the last big purchase I'm making. This is I swear to you, it's the last big purchase I'm making." And then he's like,
He's a
"Legit
liar,
something."
too.
It was a goddamn.
Well, that's
He's a
what-
liar, and
I'm
he
not
has an
a liar.
addiction to spending
No,
money.
no, I'm
Get
not.
out while you can, Andrew.
Yeah,
It's
that-
a $22 flying hospital Airbus.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's what Brad
then
Lee told his Dalmatian.
And then he buys the pumpkin thing is great, but then he's like, I bought another song for the pumpkins to sing. Okay.
Don't
Yeah,
you? Hey, you know there's a lot. You know there's a lot of things that you can mess around with, but it really hurts my feelings when you attack my pumpkins, because it took me forever to get you on board with said pumpkins after you naysayed them, and You made fun of me when I had the computer set up and I was trying to figure out how to put the projector thing together. You made fun of it and mocked it, but who's the first one to run out and fire up the GD projector to show her neighbors that we're just like Disney? Who's doing that? Is that Daniel or is that Andrew?
I mean, no, at first I said, I didn't say anything. I just thought in my head, this is
But I can see your side eyes and you and Maisie whispering.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, you spend a good amount of money to get it going, and then you're addicted to buying more songs for them to sing.
So do I get?
Yes.
Do I
He just likes to. Maybe if I gave him an allowance, like in cash, and then if he spends it all on Monday, then he's out.
Really
Kind of
is
like
your second
you put your
mom.
money in envelopes. Isn't that like a Dave Ramsey thing? You put your money in envelopes, you spend it.
I hate Dave Ramsey.
Yeah, well, he's got an addiction.
I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
We gotta get him some help.
Yeah, he's got to
right?
get into some
Dave
sort of program.
Ramsey lost me when he started putting, this is what God wants you to do. I was like, God wants me to buy fake planes. Closer to God.
Yeah,
in the fake plane.
Can we have an intervention for him or something? What do we do next, Andrea? Like,
if you touch my Xbox and my Microsoft Flight Simulator, I swear to God, I'll burn our house down.
Oh my God!
Do we get a therapist again? Like, do we bring a
I
professional?
go to a therapist, but I missed my appointment last week. I was late, so I just kind of breezed in there when I wanted to. I was like, I was late. I was playing Flight Simulator.
But does a therapist?
I don't know.
This addiction is tearing his life apart.
It is.
I don't know how to get him to care that, like, yes, you're making money, and I know you want to spend it, but we still have to, like, have money to live. Like, you can't all be fake planes.
I'm living in a virtual world with all these awesome planes.
Well, how much money?
All right, I'm looking up compulsive buying disorder when addiction becomes a problem.
Well, maybe because
treatment.
there's always needs. Do you have an addictive personality? Maybe he has addictive personality.
I do.
So he always needs something to, like, have control over.
Well, it works.
Well, I lost control of you and Maisie, so now I got nothing.
I mean, he's addicted to the Peloton, so that's good
I
because
am
you
addicted
lose
to the
weight. It's
Peloton.
healthy.
Right,
You
yeah.
know, like people get addicted to like exercise, so that's positive. The spending, like you're wasting a bunch of money. How much money do you need? Okay, it's like a heroin addict. You know, he keeps shooting more and more and more until like he gets to a point where you're on the brink of OD.
Right.
So for you, like, do you need?
I am the
to spend
Bradley
more?
Knoll. I am the Bradley Knoll of virtual planes.
Like, if we get you in therapy, once you get out, are you going to go and buy the same amount of planes that you always have?
Overdose. All the planes. They'll find me. I'll be laying in there. I'll have an Xbox controller in my hand.
Yeah. Like, you bought 500 virtual
Mountain
planes.
Dew Code Red just all over my body.
I mean, you know, this will eventually, because I'm not paying attention, Andrea. I have no idea where the money's coming from, where it's flowing. Like, I'm not budgeting anything, so Daniel could steal from the company all day until we're bankrupt, and I have no idea.
I'm not really feeling great about my
It's
job
not
right now.
stealing because technically we are talking about these planes on the show.
Oh,
so
you can write it off.
may I present you with a write-off, sir?
Yeah. Bernie said we can't do that like we used to.
I might be transitioning to a new guy, like Jerry.
Oh no.
Jail Jerry? I like Jail Jerry.
Jail Jerry, yeah.
You could go into the PayPal and, like, cut off his access.
That's what you did.
You know,
do that.
Yeah.
That's what you
so
did.
you just have to make drastic measures and cut
She
him
did
off.
it. She's like, I need your phone. I was like, you can't. My Chrome is on Pornhub.
But Daniel's still the owner of our PayPal. Like, that's his personal account. We never switched it to business. We've just been using it
That's
as
good.
We had
our
to do
business
it.
account for
We had to
10
do what we
years.
had to do. Technically, I own the entire company.
Yeah. At least the
And I've
PayPal.
invested in virtual planes.
Can you resell them to anybody?
No.
Oh, okay.
They're only mine, and they're not real.
Well, we need help, Andrew. So
So when are you coming to work
hey,
here?
put that on your list. How to save the company.
Yeah, how's your
Oh my
how's your
God.
day going?
Pretty good. Just writing some press releases, you know, doing my normal thing. And now you've got my anxiety peaked because your spending is out of control.
Oh, yeah.
It's making me nervous.
Well, that makes you nervous? I
gotta keep you on your toes.
Well, I've known about that for years.
Yeah, you knew that before you married me. Like, what are you talking about? You
Like
knew this 10 years ago.
This guy wastes a lot of money.
He's like, what did he buy this time? Oh, that's not going to last long.
Well, now that you're, like, calling me about it, I think there's, like, an actual problem.
No, there is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
Well,
I called you.
There's that problem. There's a problem of needing more content, which we solved with this. So bingo bongo,
Yeah.
it's solved.
Yeah.
Let's exploit Dan's addiction by making it a segment.
And on Friday we're going to exploit my ED because it's bad.
Oh, no.
It's only skin down there now.
Wait until I release Travis's emails.
Oh my God, I can't wait to see those.
It's
been-
real
He
bad.
said he was missing like 2 months worth.
Oh,
Did you
they're
pull
bad.
those?
They're way worse.
625,000 emails.
Way worse than
Yeah,
Gruden.
they're real bad.
All
right, I love you, babe.
I love you too. Stop spending.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Okay. Bye.
Well, that ain't gonna stop.
All right, so here's some things you can do
Okay.
to manage your shopping addiction.
It's just like little bit. It's not like I'm going out and blowing $1,000, $500. No, it's like
Yeah.
But
like
it
$5,
all adds up.
$13. You know, like what is that?
When you
they got a-
overdraft, that's a problem.
I'm like, look at that Cessna. That Cessna's got Mountain Dew logos on it. I'm like, I'm buying a Mountain Dew Cessna. $13. Let's do it.
Destroy all credit cards and delete all digitally stored credit card numbers.
Can't do that. I have backups for
Can't
everything.
do that.
No, my watch has
Oh,
my
okay,
credit
so
cards
you
on
gotta
it. My
take-
phone has my
It says
credit cards.
instead pay with them with cash, and for big ticket items you can elect to pay handwritten check.
No, okay.
Uh-huh.
I don't have any checks.
Tell your loved ones about your problem and ask them to help you in your recovery. I think we just did that.
No,
just
you
now.
forced me. You didn't. I didn't come to you guys hat in hand and say like, "Hey, I'm having a problem." You guys crapped on my chirping, and then it led to other problems I'm having.
Oh,
and then
now
we
we're the
wandered-
blame for the shopping addiction?
Yeah. You take away the good part. All you guys want to do is break me down and build me back
Ooh.
up in your image.
Avoid things like online stores or TV shopping channels.
No.
You do have an addiction
Oh,
to
yeah,
I
QVC.
do. That's my fuel. I
Ask
gotta
a
watch
loved
that.
one to block these sites and channels on your computer, phone, and television, and then secure the password.
But that's
to
all I
unlock-
watch. I don't take my TVs. I don't need them. If I
Whenever,
can't watch QVC, I don't want the TVs. You come get them.
whenever you feel the urge to shop, acknowledge it and then do something constructive, such as exercise or take up a hobby that does not
I'm already
require
doing
you to
that.
spend.
Yeah,
Double down the exercise?
No, I don't want to do that.
Well, yeah, you can only ride
Oh
Peloton
my
so
God, my
much.
taint will fall off. I can't do it anymore.
Consider ways to make it more difficult for you to spend money impulsively, such as making your money harder to access.
Well, Andrea's taking care of that. She's disconnecting everything.
And most importantly, seek treatment. Shopping addiction is a serious and complex problem. Once
not
your
real.
brain has become accustomed to the high and instant gratification of compulsive shopping, you will need support to make a lasting
Oh, yeah,
change.
everything's a disorder.
So you
now.
gotta join-
Oh, here we go.
Join a support group, get a licensed mental health counselor to help you make changes easier, and coaching with evidence.
A lot of people in the chat room can identify. 21 Butt Farts says that he has, he has the same problem with truck parts. Yeah, see, you go there, what do I need? I need that exhaust. I need, I gotta train this. I gotta put this cold air intake on my car.
See,
Put
I
this
would
belt on here. Oh, let's upgrade this battery.
at least that somehow tangible. Although I do agree, pretty much the same kind of waste of money, but you're getting some sort of.
Mine's worse. It's instant. I don't have to wait for anything. It's like when I see the plane, I'm like
Yeah.
A10 Warthog, boom, I hit a button, and in literally 7 seconds, because my internet's relatively fast, I got it. And I can sit down, and I fire up that new plane, and there's nothing better than firing up a brand new plane. Oh, God. You look around in the
video
virtual
game.
cockpit, you're looking around, you're like, oh, my God. If this thing could talk, the stories it would tell.
I've known people in my life that have had like that, addiction to spending and stuff,
Yes.
and it gets to the point where you're like, oh my God, you've wasted so much.
I don't think I'm
there.
there yet, but I mean, I guess I got a little bit of that.
They're
somewhere.
buying like things that they don't even need,
Yeah.
and like copious amounts of
Does
them.
it count if I use
It's
them?
weird.
I use them. It's not like I buy it and store it. It's not like I buy it and never look at it. Like I buy it and then
Yeah, I know people that will buy
that-
stuff and not use it.
Yeah, I know those people too, and I don't do that. Like if I buy a $13 Cessna or
It
$9,
does justify it a little more when you actually
yeah.
use it.
I
But
fly.
you still gotta watch
Like
that
right
bank
now-
account.
But are you getting more dopamine because you bought the plane and use it rather because you fly free planes, right? Like there's
And
tons
he
of
has planes
I have plenty
already.
of planes
Yeah.
to fly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's not about that.
It's that new feeling.
Yeah, it's that new.
Yeah.
She's right.
So that is where I think there's
And
somehow
it's a stupid one too.
the addiction
Of course,
lies.
I got the stupid one. It isn't like I have something real that I'm collecting that's awesome.
Yeah.
I have something stupid that I'm collecting. Now I will say
It's
that
almost NFTs.
they did fix some. It is very NFT. Yeah, there is something that they did though that has deterred me from buying more planes. They have put in the ability to rate the plane. like how good it functions, the virtual build of it, because these are built by real like aviators, and they use the real, like schematics to make it act as if it were a legitimate plane. They'll rate it, and a lot of the planes that are rated lower, like I won't buy them. Because I'll be like, well, if it's got like 2.3 stars, I'm like, 1 out of 5. Like I was like, nobody likes that. That's not a good plane. I'm not going to fly that one.
See, I feel like you are shorting yourself from one of your greatest talents. No, well, follow me with this, because Daniel, like, he'll buy the latest and greatest things that he's into, right? But Daniel also has an unbelievable talent to take care of his stuff, like more than anybody I've ever seen, and like keep the original packaging and like not damage his like anything at all. So it'll retain some sort of inherent value for a long time, and then he can resell those things unless electronics.
Yeah,
then
you got to be quick with those.
They but other things, glasses and things you've also bought a bunch of.
Yeah,
like they'll be perfect. And so but the virtual planes, I feel is like complete waste. Because there's no reselling them, there's no like taking care of them, so like they last longer. Like so, you're taking away one of your talents, which is the ability to keep your things nice.
It's almost
by
like
doing it virtual.
A level of organization. Sure,
because like I could keep a virtual plane nice,
because
you don't do anything.
Yeah, that's true.
So you're actually devaluing the addiction part of the buying stuff, because at least the other stuff you could resell or it's worth something in the future.
That makes sense to me. I have certain planes though that I like that I've purchased though that are my ones that I use mostly. So like if I play the flight simulator, like I don't use any of the free planes. I'm not saying that I don't ever, but you see what I'm saying? Like I like the ones that I've purchased more, and I do use those.
So let me ask you, okay, so if you could afford it and it's not a detriment to your life and family, right? When does an addiction matter? If it's just like, all right, I can afford it, I'm not putting my family in some sort of financial ruin. I just like this. I get enjoyment out of this. I mean, that's basically a dad hobby, right?
Yeah.
But when does it get to the point where Daniel looks at his crazy amount
when he can't pay his bills and stuff.
But
so you're saying it absolutely never affects any of that?
Well, if it's taking time away from them, like if I'm spending more time flying planes and not spending time with my daughter, that's not good.
No, but I'm just saying, but what happens in like 10 years from now, and then all of a sudden, like Andrea gets into his plane library or whatever the hell.
Oh, it's already the hangar. My virtual hangar is it's crazy.
And then you found out you spend like $18,000 on virtual planes, and then no. Like the culmination of
I'll tell you how much
addiction
I've spent.
Can be at one point you have to stop like this $18,000 on.
Yeah, but if he's got the money,
I'll tell you how much I've spent.
How much?
A little under $200.
Okay, well, I mean that'll eventually get to 18.
But it's bad. Like when you think about how many planes. I mean, I have a lot of planes now.
Yeah.
I think I have like 40 planes.
Although
I don't need 40 virtual planes.
People, spend a lot of money on video games. I guess the same amount of thing.
Here's the line I gave my wife. I said, well, hey, it's not like I'm buying booze.
Yeah.
I'm buying something, that I can spend time with, and it's not just, it's not like I'm just blowing money. Well, I kind of am, though. Yeah. Especially if I'm overdrafting.
I think I lost, about that this weekend gambling.
Yeah, but the difference is you set aside what the problem is on me. If I have a bankroll. Yes, if I'd gone to Andrea and said, hey, I really like this game. I'm going to buy some planes, but I'm going to need some money to do it. So, hey, can I have $200 for just fun to just buy some silly planes and figure out which ones I like and which ones I don't like? Then this would not be a problem. We wouldn't be arguing about it. She wouldn't call in and...
Now, there are some that will say that's your money, you earn it, you can do whatever the hell you want with it. I'm
not that guy because it's a partnership and we both earn money, and even though we have separate bank accounts, I'm just not that guy. I've never been that guy. You're supposed to check with your wife before you make a big purchase, especially if you're going to overdraft your account and she's going to get emails. But I'm in the wrong here.
But you earn more than she does, correct?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, so that's got to count for something.
I always will. And I will always earn more than her because, unlike me, she is not a superstar.
I mean, that even though it's not supposed to, and it's supposed to be whatever is equal, blah blah blah.
Right.
But
it's not
equal.
I let you eat. You let me buy plates.
There's a percentage amount that you earn more than her, which means that you should have the right to make more of the decision about the money.
1% better. So if she goes and she looks at it and she's like, okay, he makes X amount of money more than me. So take that number, put it over here. How much did he spend on the planes? As long as it's still, got a surplus, then you can blank off. Take one of those with you. I'm the king. Is that what you're saying?
I think that's how it works.
I don't think I can do that.
I'm just like, if you put it on paper.
How do you do it? Is this how you do it? Okay.
No, I spend the business account too. I have to hide it from the crow.
Oh, man.
She won't let me spend nothing.
I told Andrew that in the car. I go, I use a business card. I have to have to write Tom a check. She's like, it's fine. He'll have no problem with it. He'll just say it's a wash because he does it too.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, have you guys been talking?
That's what Florida business owners are supposed to do. You start spending your business money on your personal items.
It's like,
you buy
a
your
new impression.
center console boat.
It's a new impression of a Florida business owner. Where's my pen? Oh, my parrot had it. And he pulls it out of the parrot's mouth. And then he signs the check.
You're like, how many side-by-sides did your company buy?
One for everybody. Next email. One more.
All right. BDM show guest. The listeners need a BDM show with Tuttle and Jana and Jason bringing ultra positivity to Tuttle. I would have suggested Big Tim and Jana, but rumor is that she hates fat people.
Oh, no. Why are you reading that one? Oh, my God.
I just read them as they come in.
Did I print that one?
That's my fault. I just read them as they come in.
That's why I heard that.
We're going to talk to Jana this
I heard
week,
there's a bit of a, what is that called? A kerfluffle?
Yeah.
Isn't that what it's called?
Kerfuffin?
A kerfluffle? I think that's what it's called. A dust up.
Well, she'll be on Friday's ACT.
And what happens next will blow your big XXX shorts off. What?
The thing is with Tuttle, like everybody's got a certain personality type. And like Jana, I believe, even though she's told us like she's like went through experiences that made her think differently and like get a more positive mindset, and she had been stuck in like a more negative mindset, and then she told us her whole adventure to how she believes and like the way she is now. But like Tuttle, I don't know if you're going to be able to get Tuttle into that only positive thinking mindset. I think it's against his true personality and true nature so much that he'd be faking if he got into that. You know what I'm saying?
I would agree with that.
I mean, we'd have to ask Tuttle about it, and maybe does that sound disrespectful?
He can be really positive, and I'd say right now he's probably in the most positive area he has been. But yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. Yeah, he's a bit of a pessimist, is he not?
Yeah, I mean, and
I am too, right?
I don't think I can get into that mindset because I'll keep trying to make it real. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't look beyond reality, and I think you need to do that or have that ability to be into an ultra positive mindset.
I could see that. Yeah.
Not that positive people are not realists or living in reality.
Some are and some aren't. Right.
I just think they have the ability to look past the reality of a negative situation and just look at all the positives. And I just can't look past the reality. I could be optimistic. And I think I am.
But at the situation, I see what you're saying.
Or you
are.
This probably will turn around. And I'll look at my everybody has it seems like everything comes in waves.
Yeah,
right?
You're surfing, man.
Like even naturally, there's light waves, ocean waves, everything's waves, sound waves, and it seems like you live your life like that. There's like ups and downs, and like that's why you try to
microwaves.
Get it close to the middle as possible. Because if you're extreme on both ends, then it seems like you have an imbalance, right? So it's like try to make the ups and downs as close to the mean as possible, and then that seems like the healthiest way to do it.
Smooth out the gaps, yeah, man.
But I can't I could be optimistic to where I'll be like, all right, I'm having a down wave. And
I'm moving a down wave.
It probably will get better as time goes on, right? Like I can look at it like that, but it's hard to me in the moment and just be like happy and genuinely positive about a horrible situation I'm in, right?
I agree with that.
Which I think Jana and Jason can be even if, no matter what situation they are,
that's
they
their
can maintain,
wiring.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And sometimes people's wiring is, I mean, I don't know many people that have rewired their core personality.
Oh man, I don't know anybody who has. I used to say there's one particular gentleman I'm thinking of right now that I used to say has changed, but the more that time goes on and the more I see of this person, I realize that it's just they've added to who they are. They haven't necessarily destroyed the part that I remember. Does that make sense?
Rewire their core.
Yeah, the core is still there. They're still the same person. I think you can add on. You can add clay. But I don't necessarily know if you can eliminate what was there, especially if it's negative.
And it doesn't count for like people that are like have addiction problems and stuff. Like I've seen people change and then change their life,
but it's still there.
The better.
Yeah,
but they still have to every day always like fight against it. But
they'll always be an addict.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's kind of how it works. And so like that wiring is, and they know it, and that's the best way to treat yourself is to know that wiring is there, and you have to live like a certain way for the rest of your life if you want to have.
But you're not supposed to question that why. You're always just supposed to do it.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know if you can, like a person like Tuttle or myself can rewire their core personality to think in just a positive manner. As much as they do. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there are some people that seem to think through neurotherapy or hypnotherapy rather that you would be able to, like, through repetition even, over the course of extremely long periods of time, that you can create new inroads in your brain, but it's difficult and it takes that it's repetition and commitment and and you have to do it.
Yeah. Like I've been thinking like and trying to get in the mindset of like being more disciplined and working harder.
Well, like the guy that our trainer talks about does a lot of challenges to see if he can do it. Will stick with something for hours just to see if he can become like a master golfer or something. Tim Ferriss? Okay,
yeah. There's Tim Ferriss.
Does that sound right?
Yeah.
He's like one of those guys with the amount of time that you put in and the if you're gonna do it, it has to be super consistent and always at 3 p.m. and and if you stick with that, you will see like you will gain, and there's no way to not gain. You will.
It's that is an impressive personality trait that I don't think everybody is capable of doing.
It's hard,
but I think maybe some people are capable of doing it that they don't think they are.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I would believe that. Yeah,
but I think some people are not capable of doing it. And so no matter what they do, I don't think they can get to that point. Or, I mean, everything's on a spectrum. You can get close to where, like, you could just try to make yourself a little bit better every day. 1%. Write that down.
Okay.
Oh, we got to get out of here?
Oh, yeah, we do.
Oh, bye-bye.